Hi, welcome to my latest video. Today I'm going to try and answer one of the questions that I get asked all the time, and that is, how do I run wires through the bulkhead to the interior of the car? I've recently fitted amber strobes to my roof rack. Let's just connect those up. There we go. I've got 4 strobes, 2 at the front, 2 at the back. And I've also got some rear work lights as well. Okay, so let's just connect up the work lights, and we can see there we've got white rear work lights to illuminate behind the car if I'm towing or recovering or backing up on a dark lane or something like that. So what I've got here is all the cable which I need to run through the bulkhead. So this cable here is just 3-core cable, and that's coming down from the roof rack along the sort of gutter channel and then down the side of the windscreen, and is just kind of coming through here. Okay, and it's just all coiled up here. I need to run that through the bulkhead and then up on the inside, up inside this cover, the A-pillar cover, and across to the switches that I've installed in the interior light panel. When I wired in my previous strobes, and also the blue switch, which is to enable my roof light bar that I fitted, I just ran the wires down here and then just took them round here under a bit of tape. Okay, that's not ideal. That was meant to be a very, very temporary, short-term solution, and that was about 5 years ago. So this time I'm going to do it correctly, and I'm going to actually run the cable through the bulkhead. But where on earth do we take it through? So when we look here, there's the alarm, and the main ECU is here. Okay, so there's the ECU. There's a hole here which is for the air intake for the heater. Okay, so there's a sort of paddle thing which moves across the hole to block it for sort of going into recirculation mode. We've got the ABS module for the brakes, the anti-lock brake module there with the brake lines, the battery here, and then various kind of cabling there for the heated windscreen. So I need to be really, really careful if I start drilling holes in the bulkhead here. Okay, so not only have we got all of that lot on this side, but if we look inside, so I've just moved the glove box out of the way. Okay, so that just unclips from these kind of clips here. You just have to disconnect the damper if yours is connected. Mine isn't because it kind of snapped. But then you just open the glove box and pull it outwards with a sharp tug, and it will disconnect from these kind of clips there. So looking in here, I need to be really careful drilling through the bulkhead in this sort of area, because we've got what appears to be another ECU there. Behind that is something else, which, let's try and get the camera there. You can see there, now it's not really showing very well. Let's try and find a little torch. There we go. That white thing there is like, I think it's the central junction box. It's not a fuse box, but it's like another box of electricals. Okay, and we've got the airbag, explosive airbag charges up here. The heater hoses, heater ducts. If I get this wrong and drill through and hit any of that lot, it's gonna be a really big problem. Okay, so wherever I drill through, I've got to be absolutely sure that it's not gonna hit something on the other side. So I'll probably drill through from the engine side into the inside, but it doesn't really make it any easier. Okay, so I could drill from here back up, but there's brake lines and all sorts on the other side, so whichever way I do it, it's going to be risky. So where could we drill through? Right, there are two places that I've heard other people drill through. So the first one, if we look down in, now this is going to be a bit difficult to, hopefully you can see that the alarm is here, and below the alarm, down there, just below the alarm, this thing here is a large rubber grommet. It's sort of like a right-angled rubber grommet, and that takes all the cabling from the fuse box and the engine bay through the bulkhead. I have heard that people have drilled through on the sort of like the outside of the kind of rubber flange around the grommet. Okay, so the hole that the grommet sits in is very large, so you can actually just sort of make another hole through the outer rubber of the grommet. I've heard that being done. I've also heard that you can drill through this area here. Okay, so you can see it sort of shining here. It's kind of like a flat oval shaped area, and I've heard that people have gone through sort of more towards the bottom of that, through there. Okay, so what I need to do is to work out, if I was to drill here, because this is my favoured option. The problem with trying to drill that grommet down there is there's just no room to get a drill down there. I do have one of those little sort of right-angled chuck adapter things for the drill, but it's still down there. I've still got to probably then move the alarm, and I don't know what would happen if I try and disconnect that. It might go off. I don't know. So here I can just get a drill straight in there, but where is that going to come out on the other side? So what I'm going to do is try. Now it's going to be difficult showing this with. Now I'm going to turn the light off, okay, and then use a torch. Okay, so this paraphernalia here with a sort of like a kind of cage round it is the recirculation air intake. Okay, so when you put the heater onto recirculation mode, it draws air in there into the heater instead of from the not from the engine bay, but from the sort of the under the scuttle panel. Okay, so that's fresh air from below the windscreen. Okay, so that oval flat area that I pointed out was just to the side of that. Now it's going to be really difficult to try and show you this. I don't even know if that's going to focus. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to disconnect the camera from my little handheld tripod thing and see if I can poke it right in there and show you where I'm planning to drill. Up in there, you can see there, and I don't know if it's going to focus, but just behind this sort of ECU thing, whatever it is, there's that circular thing on the actually on the soundproofing. Okay, so around it, try and get the light to shine up there. Okay, so around that there's quite an area with no cables, no hoses, no brake lines, heater hoses, anything like that. Okay, and that is probably about 10 centimeters to the left of that recirculation vent. All right. Okay. So I reckon that is probably a safe bet, making a hole through there. Still do it from the engine bay side, but at least it's not going to hit anything on the inside. Okay, so let's just have another look back round at the engine bay side. Okay, so we can see in here this air flap for the recirc is quite a distinctive shape, and it sort of comes up and then has a little straight bit and then it goes vertical, and about 10 centimeters across is our oval shaped flat area. So that is where I'm going to drill, and I'm going to just drill a very, very small, like a 3mm hole to start with, and make sure the drill doesn't travel too far through the metal, and then I'll sort of poke some wire or something into the hole just to kind of see if I can see it on the other side, or see it sort of pushing the behind the soundproofing. Okay, so it's getting a bit dark now, so I'm trying to get some lights going. I've got a torch here, I've got a head torch on, and my camera light as well. Now, is this, I don't know if I can get I can't get the drill in there. Okay. Right, I think I might need one of those drill extension pieces. Oh, actually, I can just about, just got to watch all the battery. Right, I can just about get the drill in there. Right, okay, that went through. I don't know what is on the other side of that. I think that soundproofing or something must be like right up against the other side, unless there's like a sort of like a rubber mastic coating or something. I'm just going to poke through there with the drill. Okay, that's hitting something soft. There's something soft on the other side. Ah, hang on. Whatever it was, I've just pushed through. If it was like a sort of a rubber layer, I've just pushed the drill in and it's kind of gone through it. So, okay, right, let's have another look inside. Okay, right, I've had a good look up there with the torch, and the good news is I've located the end of the drill. Now, it's not far off where I wanted it to be. There it is. Can you see it? There. And it was some sound deadening that it was coming through. And then just up, about 7 centimetres upwards and 1 centimetre out towards the car, is that kind of clip thing that holds that soundproofing on. So the good news is there's no pipes or cables or anything critical near to that drill. So I can quite happily open that hole up and then put a grommet around the hole, and then I can start putting some cables through there. Now, interestingly, that was at the bottom of that oval. I'd have probably been better off actually going at the top of that oval, which would have then brought it up around sort of just up a bit. Okay, a little bit up and to the left of the drill that you can see there. Okay, right, at least we know we can safely go through that area without hitting anything. I'm now going to open that hole up and then put a grommet around it. go. Right. I don't know if you can see that. It's very bright with the light. That's better. There. You can see there's basically like white foam on the other side. So that is the back of that soundproofing layer. Now that's kind of nice because that sort of covers the hole, and then I can just punch through that. Just because of sort of sharp metal edges, I'm just going to put a grommet around that. Now I don't have a blanking grommet in that size at the moment, so I'm just going to put a normal sort of hole grommet in there, just purely to protect the cables against the sharp metal edge. Okay, it's very, very important to put something around the hole, some kind of grommet. Okay, so there's the grommet in position now, and I will just sort of make a hole using an 8mm drill, just carefully kind of by hand, just poke through that foam there. Right, there you go. That's gone through. Okay, so what I will do now is find the end of my cable here. Okay, there we go. Look at that, that's gone in there. Okay, right, let's have a quick look, see if I can see that cable. Right, oh, here it is. There it is. Okay, brilliant. There we go, coming through the bulkhead, and then that can be run to wherever it needs to go. Okay, so 10 years I've owned this car, and I've been meaning to do that. Finally found a way through. There we go. Well, I hope that video was useful. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.